Hi guys, happy Monday. You guys asked me to do a video on relationships, so that's today's topic. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a background about myself and what I went through, and then I'm gonna give you guys some advice. When I was about 15 years old in ninth grade in high school, I found my first high school sweetheart. He was 2 years older than me, and at first, we started to get to know each other, and he found me first. I was actually the new kid in school, and I was a new kid in school, and I didn't know where anything was. I didn't know where the counselor's office was. I didn't know, nothing. It was a new school. I was shy, scared, and he introduced himself to me, and we hit it off, and he hung out with me, you know, in the cafeteria because I didn't know anybody. And one day I was in PE and he asked me, hey, can I have your number? Can we start texting? I was like, sure. So we started texting back and forth, and what ended up happening was he texted me and he was like, oh, we should hang out sometime outside of school. I said, oh, sure. And my mom was like, you know what, you should invite him over for dinner, let me meet him, things like that. So I invited him over for dinner. We hung out, and he got to meet my brother and my mom, and they all hit it off, and it was nice. And then I met his friends for the first time. They were in a little bit of a shock because they hadn't seen me before. Not only they haven't seen me before, but they were just in a shock because I didn't know or didn't realize that his ex-girlfriend was actually in the group with his friends. And she was kind of, upset that he had found somebody else. So what ended up happening was we're together, whatever, for about 3 years. And the first year, I started noticing things that I didn't like. I started noticing he was hiding. Every time I wanted to hang out, he would make excuses, or he would come over and be on his phone all the time. Just red flags everywhere. And then it got a little bit worse the second year. He was now going out with friends every single day, every single chance he got, and he was kind of ignoring me. And then the third year, it got extremely horrible. I had a lot of guy friends, so I had guy friends on the football team. I had guy friends in class. I mean, I'm very social, so in high school I talked to everybody. There wasn't one person that I didn't talk to or didn't get along with. And he started getting jealous that I had all these friends. Well, he became verbally, mentally, and physically abusive towards me. And it got really, really bad. It got to the point where I just didn't trust him. I just, it was horrible. And he apologized for all of that. And then for his birthday, for his, I think, 19th or 20th birthday, I did him a barbecue at the park, and I had to leave because my mom wanted me to go with her somewhere. So I left, and I left his cupcakes there. Well, he cheated on me with his ex-girlfriend. And everybody showed it to me. Everybody gave me the video, gave me the evidence. And he confused me. I thought when a man tells you what to do, it's because they love you. When they are physically abusive, it's because they love you. I went up to him and I told him, you know what? Why would you do this to me? After everything that I have done, you're gonna go and you're gonna treat me this way. And I don't deserve it. And he literally just went off the wall and just started getting angry at everybody. Getting angry at me, cursing at me, putting me down. And then, guys, after that, I went through a deep depression. Deep. I went through a depression where I was in my third period class and I had a pencil and I was cutting myself with the pencil underneath my desk. And one of my friends told my counselor about it, and my counselor called me and was like, I was literally hiding my arms because I already knew what she wanted me for. And she said, why was I doing that? And I just didn't say anything. And after that, this person, he didn't care that I went through that or I was going through that depression. He continued to be with his girlfriend and left me like that. So I went through a lot, a deep depression, but then I realized, I'm worth a lot more and I don't need to be doing this to myself. And so I stopped. I got healthy. And then he asked if he can come back into my life. And silly of me, but I brought him back in. I was actually in the state where he lives. And he was visiting me and things were good, but he was on the phone the whole time. And he didn't want me to post pictures of him and I. He didn't want none of that. And I felt like it was a little bit suspicious. So what I ended up doing was I posted it up anyways. And he told me to take it off, and I didn't want to take it off. Well, little did I know when I came back home, he was with somebody else the whole time, and he had got her pregnant and cheated on me with her. By that time, I said I would never give him a chance ever again, and I didn't. And then after I separated from him, I got in another relationship with somebody else, and this person was really nice, but we broke it off because we didn't really have a connection. And then I was single for about 5-6 months after, and then I got with somebody else, and this person was really nice to me. We went to the same high school too, but we never ran into each other and we never spoke. It was funny how we met because we met on Facebook through mutual friends. And I don't normally try to meet people online just because you never know, but since he knew my friends, I knew that I was safe. So then him and I started talking, and I still remember to this day, our first date was at Knott's Berry Farm. And we went out and we had fun, and it was an instant connection. And after the second or third week of hanging out, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I said yes, because I had been single for about 6 months before that. So we got together, and it was great. But number one key, guys, if you have somebody in your family that you know is going to tell that person bad things about you, keep them away. Because that's what separated him and I. After 6 months, somebody told them bad things about me, and he believed it, and we separated after we turned 6 months. And I was very hurt, but I didn't allow myself to go into a deep depression because I kept myself busy. And things like that. So after that breakup, I was single for about 7 to 8 months. And then I met my current boyfriend. I met him at school, at adult school. And it's been amazing. You know, we have bumps in the road, but no relationship is perfect. But with him, it was a little bit easier because I didn't have to tell him, hey, I'm in a wheelchair, because he knew already. We were in the same class. And I feel like the first day we saw each other, it was like an instant connection. Because, I don't know, I just saw him and I got butterflies in my stomach. It was funny. And then he asked me for my Snapchat. And I said, okay. And at first we were just talking like, hey, good morning, bye, things like that. But I give signs to people. If I like you and I find you attractive, I might give you one of these. I might just smile. Or, I might just look at you all day. And those were the things that I was doing with him. And he caught on right away, and he just, he asked me for my Snapchat. And I gave it to him, and we were talking. And then he asked me for my phone number, and I gave it to him. And we were texting, and then he called me, and we were talking. And he was actually in Vegas with his mom and dad. And he didn't want to go out with them for some reason because he wanted to talk to me. And I was like, oh, okay. We were talking. And it was crazy because his mom actually tells me now that in February of last year, because that's when we got together, he was just so happy. And she had never seen him like that before. And she's like, who are you talking to? And my boyfriend's like, oh no, but it's just a friend. And she was like, yeah, right, but okay. And stuff. So we kind of kept it a secret that we were together. I think only 2 people knew, his friend and my friend. But that's it. And I remember our first date. We went to the movies, and I was actually getting my hair done. And his mom wanted to see a picture of me. So he showed him, I guess, an old picture of me. And she thought I was 16. So while I was getting my hair done, she calls me and she asks me, how old am I? And I told her I was 19. I was going to be 20. And she's like, oh, okay. Me and my boyfriend are 9 years apart. So that's a huge age difference. But it was hard for his mom to believe how old I was. So my grandma talked to her, and my grandma confirmed it. His mom was really nice to me. I remember our first date, I was so shy because I had been out of the game for so long. Um, I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know what to do. I was just really, really shy. You know, I didn't know what to do. And after that, we went on our first date. We actually, because I told him at a conversation that I had read all the 50 Shades of Grey books and I had watched all the movies. And our first date was actually on Valentine's Day. We went to watch 50 Shades of Freed, which was the last 50 Shades of Grey movie, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. And he took me to dinner, and he was just so respectful and so nice. Well, he February 14th was our actual first date. We got together February 8th. And it was just amazing, you know, but his mom and my mom didn't know that we were together yet because we didn't want to tell them until, you know, we saw where it was going to go. And it's just been amazing. I mean, he's such a blessing considering the things that I've been through. He's very understanding. And I think, guys, when you go through certain traumas, and when you go through certain traumas in life, like me, with the abuse and the cheating and all that, it affects your relationships because it's affected mine. It's affected mine to where, not where I think he's gonna hurt me, because he never has, and I know he never will, but I'm always thinking, and he has to reassure me. And it's difficult. But how I've overcome it is what helps me overcome that is when he tells me, Gabby, I love you, or he stays up at night with me when I can't sleep because I'm having nightmares, or he's here for me. And that's what makes me fall in love all over again. And trust was a big issue for us. It took me a long time to trust him. It took me a long time to let him talk to me. Because I had this huge guard, and little by little he would knock it down and knock it down. And now we're together. And I thank God every day for him. We had trust issues, but we got over them because we always reassure one another. And I think that's very important, guys. If you have trust issues, don't be afraid to talk about it. Because with Jerry, I was kind of nervous to tell him and talk to him about certain things. But now I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to talk about it, and he'll listen. And if he doesn't, it's okay. And trust is very important. Respect is very important. I look back at what I went through before, and I look at myself now, and I'm like, the Gabby now would have never dealt with that. But now, because I know my self-worth. Before I didn't. I had low self-esteem, and I didn't know, what I was worth. But now I do. And I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm loved. And I know that I deserve the best. And not every relationship is perfect. You're going to have bumps in the road, but don't give up. And if you're going through an abusive relationship, you can walk away. I know it's hard, but you can do it. There's somebody out there for you. And I wish I had somebody to tell me that before. Because I always thought like, oh my God, nobody's gonna love me. There's no way. That guy is right. Nobody's gonna love me. Nobody's gonna care about me. But when Jerry came into my life, I was proven wrong. And back then, I didn't love myself. And now I adore myself. So guys, I guess what I'm trying to say is respect yourself, respect your relationship, and you should never let, put yourself down because somebody else is putting you down. If you went through the things I have, believe me when I say there is somebody out there that will love and respect you and accept you the way you are. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me comments, topics of what you want to know about me, how I overcame these things. I know that I overcame the abuse by going to therapy, writing in a journal, and letting things go. But if you want us to talk about a certain topic, let me know in the comments. Bye guys!